Mad Bunny is here again talking to you, just to come here to give you a bit of advice. Martial arts. What is martial arts actually? What does it mean? What is the benefit of acting martial arts? Yeah, martial arts is a very complex thing to talk about, to be honest with you. You know? Because the first thing, what we need to understand about being a martial artist is people will criticize you, people will take the piece of you, people will laugh about you in all different aspects you cannot even imagine. On the beginning, people will want to try you. Many people will want to try your skills. This is how I define it. When people know you practice sports, a martial art, no matter what kind of martial art, because sometimes I have people asking me, what is the best martial art to train? There are no the best martial arts. All the martial arts, they should teach you everything that you need related to respect, self-defense, to determination, discipline, to make you a better person. That's how I see it. That's how I believe it. That's how I understand it. There is a massive difference when you do practice martial art because you want to become a fighter, or when you practice martial art and you want to learn how to protect yourself. Okay, to start with, when we talk about martial arts, it started popularizing the word martial arts in the 80s or the 90s. Let's do that. Because before that, so according to the Chinese, you only train martial art if you're a Chinese person. That was back on the days when was represented. No, it's more because of Bruce Lee, who popularized the Kung Fu around the world. So they used to say, don't teach martial arts to anyone outside of China, all that kind of thing. But now, people call the boxing martial arts, which I completely disagree with it. Although I know boxing is a powerful sport and a powerful tool for self-defense, and of course, it's a sport, teaches you respect, teaches you discipline. So, in my point of view, there are no the best martial arts in the world, but it's up to you how much you dedicate yourself to learn that martial arts. Now, make no mistakes. Each time when you learn something about martial art, it's very, very different than what you see in the movies. It's completely different than what you imagine. Because when we first start training it, we believe, right, I want to be able to fight one person, two people, three people, 10 people, you know, I want to be able to fight the entire world. When you are young, this is the mentality why you get into the schools of the martial arts. That was my mentality, that was my friend's mentality. And it is exactly the same mentality of the young people who comes to my school. They want to know how to fight. Because they believe they want to become superheroes. I'm very straight with what I do and with what I teach. So, I was born in the south of Brazil, and the first martial art I started training is the martial art I became a teacher, which is capoeira. That's what I teach now. Since I've been practicing since 1991, and I have started teaching in 2002. Now, when I talk about capoeira as a martial art, I'm not talking about a capoeira people see today, just a dance, a sport, or whatever people want to call it, acrobatic movement. I always treat capoeira as a martial art. And I have trained as a martial art. I have trained self-defense, street fighting. Although in my journey until I could get into here, I've tried different types of martial arts back in the day. So when I was younger, I tried judo, and I was training judo for quite a long time. Not enough to get a black belt, but it was never about the belt. It was about the self-defense all the way. And then I started practicing karate for a short period of time, it was not for too long. It's still back in Brazil. And I was in different schools with different teachers, a lot of them, guys who were practicing Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu, or Kung Fu or other martial arts. We used to do this, to practice together. So, nothing official, we would go to the park or somewhere where we could simply check our skills and then see how could we learn from each other, and of course we try to each other. Kids, when I say kids, well, my 15, 20 years old. Reason why do I start learning martial arts? Because of something what was happening to me at school, because bigger kids was beating me up, and I was tired of that, and all the time I had to wait someone to come to help me, to protect me, because I didn't know how to protect myself, I didn't know how to deal with situations. I was crying all the time when someone was just attempting to get any closer to me to start a fight with me. I was very coward. And I've been always a big guy. When I say I've been always a big guy, does not mean I've been a strong guy. When I was young, I was a very fat boy. I was a fat guy all the way. So whenever it was any problem at school, I was the one getting beaten up all the time. Okay? And that took many, many years before I started realizing I need to learn something to protect myself, because, well, when I say many years, I'm not exaggerating, that was just a small boy. Once I saw capoeira, I never was training capoeira just because I loved what they were doing, you know, the cartwheels, the kicks and everything else. So let's put it that way. I knew how to do few kicks, I knew how to do few pumps, but I didn't have the guts to do it. I was always thinking, oh, I don't want to hurt other people. Or how about if I kick the other person, they will not feel the pain, they're going to come back to me, and they're going to beat me up. And that's exactly what was happening. I started learning martial art because I need to protect myself until the day came and I just lost it. And it was a little fight at school. I was fighting against, it was like maybe 6 or 7 boys at school who didn't like me for whatever reason. And on that day I decided no longer to handle me anymore. So on that day I went to the school, I got my nunchaku, and I was just, whatever. Anyway, it was a little bit of issue on the time, but I was only 14 years old, and time passed and everything got sorted. But I've sent some people to the hospital on that day. Then I decided that that's not a nice thing to do. But because I encouraged myself and I could protect myself from that day, people started respecting me a lot. And then I believe I'm invincible. So I'm going to learn all sorts of martial arts after. And of course, as I'm growing up, I started working for security. Big parties, I was working as a bouncer in a few places in my youth, so I need to know how to protect myself or to protect the people who were around me. And then something that was a very short period of time of my life. In Brazil, of course, over 20 years ago, when I was doing some bodyguarding work. But that was when I had great skills, when I knew how to fight, when I knew how to punch, when I knew how to block, when I knew how to manipulate weapons, when I knew how to escape from weapons. Then I became a bodyguard. And after some time I realized, you know what, this is not what I want to do for my life, really, because one day I'm simply going to be sent straight underground for this type of work, but I don't want that anymore. But I was looking for all sorts of different types of martial arts to practice because I want to make my knowledge greater. So for a period of time I was training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was training ninjutsu, I was training Muay Thai. I trained few different things just to learn how to protect myself. And then a lot of people may ask me now, was it worth learning martial arts? But for me it was. Every single kick I've done, every single beat I've been taking, times when I've been sent to the hospital, for being involved into situations. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been in a fight when a lot of people nowadays simply say, well, I hear that from people today, well, you're not a fighter, look at your shape, look at your big belly, you don't have a form, you know nothing about fighting, I want to see you in a ring, I want to see you fighting that person, I want to see you challenging. Guys, my point of view, if you want to be a fighter, if you want to be a professional fighter, you don't have to be a martial artist. You just find a gym where they teach you MMA, so you can learn a little bit of different things, different arts. You don't have to go deep into studies about one martial art. You just learn, bits from Jiu-Jitsu, from Muay Thai, from Karate, from whatever you want to learn, and then you create your protocol. And then if you are good in what you do, you will become a professional fighter. There is no need to become a master in martial arts to be a fighter. For a lot of people who comes to me sometimes and ask me, well, would you teach me how to fight? And I'll say, what for? Well, because I want to fight in the ring, because I want to fight in the octagon, because I want to be a professional fighter. And I say, but that has nothing to do with me, because I can't train any fights. I don't know what are the rules for the fights. I don't know how to get into the ring. It's been over 20 years since I last had one fight. Back in Brazil, God, the fights in the late 90s. I don't even know what to do in a ring. I don't even know what to do on octagon. I don't even know how to, put a glove on. Or I don't have that. But when people come to my school and they ask, look, I would like to learn self-defense. I would like to learn martial arts. And then they will give me a reason. And I say, yeah, that's absolutely fine. You just need to understand, whatever you're going to learn here, you need to keep for yourself. Whatever we're going to practice in here, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be violent. Because out there, it's brutal and violent. Out there on the streets, there is no such a thing of, well, I want to fight with you, how we're going to fight. You don't see it. You need to be in the high alert all the time. You need to think about all the possibilities. What can happen out there when you are out on the streets? Why? Because self-defense is not something what you're going to practice. Today, you're going to train. You're going to train today 10 hours, kicking, blocking, takedowns, diversion, movements. It's nothing to do with that. To protect your the first thing you need to understand is you cannot put yourself on vulnerable situation or position. You need to make sure you are well educated to talk to people instead of closing your fist to go against people. You need to learn when the danger comes to you, you need to start breathing and not panic. When you think about martial arts, you need to consider how many years you're going to spend in prison if you harm someone, or if you can afford being off work because someone will knock you out. Because we never know what is going to happen in a fight until the fight comes to an end. There is no one betting on you. There is no one there to throw the white towel when you get kicked or when you get knocked down. Nobody will stop stepping on you, or kicking or punching you when you fall down on the floor. Okay. People will step on your head when you are on the floor. People will kick you on the face when you are on the floor. People will nail you. People will stab you. People will grab stones or piece of wood on the floor. People will attack you with everything what they can find on the street. And of course, in these days, things are so much dangerous. People will shoot you. People shoot you dead and not even gonna look at you, don't even care if it's gonna be in front of your family, in front of your child, in front of your parents. People don't care. So, first thing you need to learn about martial arts and self-defense is there is no a great fight. There is no honor on the fight. Never will be an honor in any fight. Fight is a fight. That's what we need to understand. Fight on the street is not the fight on octagon. When you are fighting someone on the street, you're not fighting one person. You are fighting the world. Because you don't know if that person has a friend who is going to come right behind you and hit you from on the back. If someone's going to be far away and going to shoot you if you try to attack their friends, you don't know what happens on the street. It's a very awkward puzzle when you decide to go for a proper fight. So one of the first things we need to understand, you're going to join a martial arts school, you need to understand you are not there to learn how to fight, but you are there to learn how to analyze situations and run on the first opportunity that you have. Because surviving is the best way of self-defending yourself. Running is the best way to avoid any situations and circumstances. I'm gonna put some more code into the hopper, and in the meantime, you can subscribe to the channel, you can leave your like in there if you want, you can ask a question, and I'll come back in 1 second. Yeah, I'll be back. Where's my likes? Where's my new subscribers? Nobody left a like for me there. I know you don't like what I'm saying. You don't give a shit about who I am or what I'm doing. Whatever shit I'm talking about, you don't care. But that would help if at least one person leave a bloody like in there. Right. Okay. Competition. I don't like going for competitions because what I practice is not for competition. As I mentioned before, I've tried different martial arts in my past, and I became a teacher of capoeira. That's my main martial art. Now, that's not the only thing that I practice. That's the only thing that I teach. So I teach self-defense. I teach techniques of street fights and self-defense, you know. But I practice esgrima. Some people call it Kali, some people call it arnis. Basically, esgrima is the Filipino martial arts. Sticks, knives, machetes, weapons. So I do train a lot with weapons as well. And I can say straight away to anybody who asks, whenever they come to me and they say, right, I would like to learn defense for knives. And I say, I cannot teach you how to protect yourself against a knife. And they get a bit confused. And I'm very honest saying that. I cannot teach no one how to protect themselves against a knife. The only thing I can teach them is how to run. Now, I can teach people few skills how to manipulate knives. I can teach people how to manipulate sticks. I can teach people how to manipulate certain weapons. But I cannot teach defense against weapons, because if you don't know what is the way of the blades, you don't know what can be happening to you if you attempt to think. Yourself. Sometimes I see videos on the internet and people start putting there, well, this is how you protect yourself against a knife. This is the how you can protect yourself against a machete. That's how you can protect yourself. Guys, really, I would not even attempt to try. And I can tell that by experience. Because if you are going against someone with a knife on their hands, the only thing what you're gonna get stabbed, you're gonna get cut, you're gonna get killed. No matter how much you can kick, how much you can punch, how much you can take people down, how strong you are, how fast you are. If you believe you are fast, be fast. You see the weapon run. Because each time you're gonna go against a blade, you will get cut. Once you understand how the knife works, once you understand how your body can act, potentially you can give up one of your limbs and survive in a fight, in a knife fight. Because you should not be afraid of someone who is pulling the knife and is coming against you, because you can see it. And once you can see what's going to make that harm to you, what can you do? They are giving you the chance to run. They are not giving you the chance to become a superhero. They are not giving, if someone's pulling a knife against you in a fight, they straight away they are saying, I'm going to cut you. But they are telling you that because they showed you the weapon. So straight away you have the chance to run. And really, you are running for your life, so you don't even look back. No matter what. No matter if the person is getting closer to you, no matter if the person is faster than you on the running, you don't give a shit. You just see a blade, you run. That's it. Different that will be a gun. If someone pull a gun against you, yeah, if they are far, if they are close, you have one chance to find out if that person actually is brave enough to pull the trigger or not. Because when someone pulls a gun, a fire gun against you, they will pull and they will shoot. They're not going to pull a gun and keep holding against you. Okay? So, in that case, what's the chance you have? If someone pulls a gun against you, and if you know they will shoot you, okay, you can run towards that person, jump on the person, bite the person, pick the balls, pull their eye out, do whatever, try to get the gun. Because what is the chance you have? You're going to turn around and you're going to run, they're going to shoot you on the back. They're going to tell you kneel on the floor. They're going to execute you with a shot on your forehead or on the back of your neck. So what chance have you got? None. So go after them. And then see if they're going to be brave enough to pull the trigger. Is that a good advice? No. But considering the fact you are dead already, and I'm talking about the streets of Brazil, I'm talking about the place where I come from, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. Before, someone will come here and say such a thing like, oh, I hope people don't listen to you because they will get killed. Yes, if someone pulls a gun against you, you will get killed. Welcome. Now, blades, they work different. Blades, they are such of a thing. If you see it, you should be grateful for the second chance you have in life because of your way. Because things can be very fast forward. A knife man, a person who knows how to manipulate a knife, they will not let you do it. You have no idea what will happen to you until you are bleeding. And sometimes you don't even have the chance to stop that bleeding. You will go with fire in the right place. And don't believe in what you see. People stabbing, and then someone was just gonna hold and twist the arm and break it here and turn around into them. It does not happen. It does not work that way. I know. So, what we need to understand, the first thing what you should learn about self-defense is not how to close your fist to fight, but how to open your mind, how to learn how to deal with the situation. When you observe what is happening out there, and you can prevent the fight to happen by walking on the street, body language, how you see people walking, what they are doing, where are they going, the posture of the person. Person carrying weapons, they have two things. You cannot say that this person is holding a weapon. But if you observe what they are doing, at least you don't get too close to them because it might be quite dangerous. No, I have people training with me for 20 years. Almost 20 years. There is many people coming through my martial arts school. 20 other years I've been teaching. Only 6 people stayed after 20 years of training. Because whenever it comes to the train, I make it brutal. Whenever it comes to training, I don't make it easy. Because it should not. You make it easy in the class, people will not know what to do on the street. Inside the school, no. but it must be real. You need to teach people how to attack properly. You need to teach people when they kick someone can protect themselves. Putting the elbow and the knee in front of your shin, and that will hurt as well. You need to let them know they are in hell when they are training. But also, you need to let them know before they will close the fist here, they will learn how to analyze the situation before acting. When I say before acting, it's not because you got punched. Someone comes against you to punch and kick you 1, 2, 3 times, you need to act. So when you train martial arts, 90% of the time you train your brain. 10% of the time you train your skills. You just need to be prepared to train every single day, no matter what, no matter how much time you have left for your training. If you have 5 minutes, you will train 5 minutes. If you have 1 hour, you will train 1 hour. If you don't have time to train, because you are busy with something, you need to train your breathing. But you need to make sure every single day you do training. Analyze the situation, admiring the life, and of all, respecting life. This is the main thing you need to do when you learn self-defense. How to prioritize life. How to become a better person every day. How to help others every day. Learn how to apologize for things you haven't even done. There is no glory on being a dead soldier. What is that glory for? Well, are you serving our country? Great, you're gonna get a medal. Your family lost you. There is no glory of threatening other people, because you should never threaten others. Whenever you threaten someone, you are giving them permission to come after you big time. And they won't beat you. If someone threatens me, I should not give them time to conclude their plan. So martial arts is a way of life. It's not a way of efficiency. It's not a way of making money. And once again, to be a fighter, you don't have to be a martial artist. Yeah, so that's it then, guys. Remember to learn how to protect yourself can be a great bonus, because that's what I believe. I believe you can only live in peace when you know how to defend